Hey everyone! Just checking that everything's working just before we go live. Well, we are live. Just before we start diving into the Unearthed Arcana. Oh, I shouldn't be looking at here. Alright. Much better. So, today we have a very interesting Unearthed Arcana, which was actually released yesterday night, I believe, when I was sleeping. But here I am, and discovered about it and read it, and it's pretty cool. So I'm really excited to show you guys what we have here. And before we dive into the nitty-gritty details, I just hope that you are doing well in these strange times that we live in, and I hope that you're safe. And that's very much that's pretty much it. If you're here in chat, let me know. If you have any questions during this, let me know. What's going to happen, I should probably say it because it might be the first time you're here. So, we're going to go over the Unearthed Arcana. There we have two new subclasses today. We have a new Bard, College of Spirits, and we have a Warlock Patron, the Undead Patron, for the Warlock, which is kind of cool. We'll get to there, but we'll go over them. I have the document right here. Boom. So if you have any questions during the stream, just pop them in chat. I should be able to see them, I think. And just if you're watching this, write something in chat so I know if it just works, you know, so I can see, because I have this chat in here in this app, and I'm not sure if I get all the messages or if I need to actually open YouTube. What happens if I click here? Does this work? Not really. Yeah, I'll be fine for now. Alright, so this is the Unearthed Arcana, and we'll just dive in then. So the first thing we have for today is the Bard. We have a College of Spirits Bard. Stories of the past are powerful. They hold lessons of history, philosophy, and magic. Bards of the College of Spirits seek the stories of those from beyond the material plane. Using gaming sets, they reach out to hear their stories, but the bards have no control over what the story they find. Just kind of like GMs and roleplayers. The first ability we have is Guiding Whispers. You can reach out to the spirits to guide you and the others. You learn the Guidance cantrip, which doesn't count against the numbers of bard cantrips you know. For you, it has a range of 60 feet when you cast it. I think Guidance has a range of 30 feet. Maybe? Probably. I'm just gonna quickly check here on YouTube to see if actually I actually can see the comments somehow. Because I have a feeling you're commenting and I can't see it, and that would be very annoying if that wouldn't work. Sorry guys, this is the technical difficulties that come with streaming stuff. So let's see, I'll go here. There we are. So, alright, no comments so far. That's great. If you have any comments, just let me know. Alright, let's keep going. Spiritual focus. Your practice of contacting spirits can employ special tools. You can use the following objects as spellcasting focus for your bard spells: a candle, a crystal ball, a talking board or a tarot deck, or a skull. You can have a skull and cast spells with it. At 6th level, when you cast a bard spell that deals damage or restore hit points through spiritual focus, you roll a d6 and you gain a bonus to one roll of the spell equal to the number rolled. So on a level 6, you permanently add a d6 to all healing or damage spells, bard spells, that you cast. This is kinda cool. Alright, Another third level ability, we had this one, the earlier one that has a perk for third level, which is not really much of a perk because it only gives you another focus. But this one is the bread and butter of this subclass. Tales from Beyond. You reach out to the spirits who tell their tales through you. While you're holding your spiritual focus, you can use the bonus action to expend one use of your bardic inspiration and roll on the spirit's tales table, using your bardic inspiration die to determine the tale told. You retain the tale in mind until you bestow the tale's effect or you finish a short or long rest. You can use an action to choose one creature you can see within 30 feet of you, this can be you, to be the target of the tale's effect. Once you do so, you can't bestow the tale's effect again until you roll it again. So you expand it and then it's gone. You can retain only one of these tales in mind at a time, and rolling on the spirit's table immediately end the effect of the previous tale. If the tale requires a saving throw, the DC is equal to your spell save DC. So at the beginning, the bard's die is D6, which means you can only access the tales of 1 through 6. We'll go over them. But as the die increases in size, you gain access to more powerful tales to add to your repertoire, if you will. So when you roll 1, you gain the tale of the beast. You recite the tale of a clever animal, and for 1 minute the target has advantage on wisdom perception checks and advantage on attack rolls against a creature if another enemy is within 5 feet of it and that enemy isn't incapacitated. So if there's 2 enemies that are adjacent to each other, you gain advantage when you attack them. And I say you, but that happens to anyone you bestow that tale upon. So that can be an ally that is like a close combatant and gains advantage, or a rogue that now has advantage. It's a fairly powerful ability and it lasts for 1 minute. That's kind of strong. The Warrior Tale. You recount the story of a renowned duelist, making a melee spell attack against the target as an attacking spectral warrior briefly appears in an unoccupied space within 5 feet of the target before vanishing. On hit, the target takes force damage equal to 2 roll of your bardic inspiration die plus your charisma modifier. Cool. So you attack someone and a spirit arrives and just smashes, like whacks them. Yes, oh, now I can see the comments. Thank you, Moran, for commenting. Alright, so that's fairly strong, not too powerful, I believe, because you have to use a bonus action to activate it, and then an action, you have bonus action to gain the tail, and then an action to actually activate it. So use a bonus action and an action to roll to do a decent damaging attack. It's not that powerful. Even on higher levels, when it's like 2d12, it's okay. Bards aren't normally able to influence themselves until higher level with their bardic inspiration. That's true for the regular bardic inspiration. That's very true. In here, though, you don't really know what you're gonna get, because you might get a tail, any tail. Some tails you won't want to cast on yourself, but it's versatile. It's kind of fun. So here we get the tale of friends, the story of friendship. You recite the tale of friends who found each other in the afterlife. The target and another creature of its choice it can see within 5 feet of it regains hit points equal to a roll of your bardic inspiration die plus your charisma modifier. So you roll a d6, you add your charisma modifier, let's say a 2 or a 3. It's a decent 6-7 hit points on average. That's fairly cool. To 2 allies that are within 5 feet. They have to be within 5 feet though, right? Target and another creature of its choice it can see within. So you choose a target and it can choose another target within 5 feet of it, and they both get that hit point, these hit points. Alright, it's not too powerful. It's not a reliant source of healing. It's just nice. Run away. The tale of Runaway. You tell the tale of an adventurer that could escape any confinement. The target can immediately use its reaction to teleport up to 30 feet to an unoccupied space it can see. When the target teleports, it can choose a number of creatures it can see within 30 feet of it, up to your charisma modifier to immediately use the same reaction. So you choose a target, and then a target. Wait, does it have to be within 30 feet of you? We need to use track. Doesn't really say what's the range on this one. Does it say at all? Oh yeah, within 30 feet of you. Alright, so it has to be within 30 feet of you, and then they can take any creature within 30 feet of them. Not precisely. They can use their reaction to teleport 30 feet away, and they can choose any number of creatures around them to grant them the same ability. So they can all teleport 30 feet anywhere they want as a reaction. That's wrong. That's cool. What I like about these abilities is that they are super situational, and you won't be able to choose one when you want it because you're rolling them, right? You'll just have to make do with what you get. So sometimes it can be really good, sometimes not so much, but I think this ability can really be used not just as a runaway. It can be a great ability to just maneuver in combat and move the battlefield. Let's change and spice the battlefield around. Spice is probably not right word that I want to use for that one. But you can change the battlefield around, and that's kind of cool. The fifth, when you roll 5 on your Bardic Inspiration die, you get the tale of the Avenger. You recount the tale of an avenging knight, and for 1 minute, whenever a creature the target can see within 30 feet of it is damaged by a creature. The wording on here is quite confusing. Target can use its reaction to deal force damage equal to a roll of your Bardic Inspiration die to the attacker. So they get the ability as a reaction to damage enemies that hit other creatures around them. And they deal charisma damage. No. Equal to your Bardic Inspiration. Your Bardic Inspiration die. So a D6 or a D8. It's cute. It's not very strong. I can't imagine many situations where I consistently want to spend my reaction to deal like a D6 or D8 of damage, but could be fun at some situations, I guess. The next one is the hero. The tale of the hero. You speak the tale of an epic hero. Choose a creature you can see within 30 feet of you. The target gains temporary hit points equal to a roll of your Bardic Inspiration die plus your Bard level. While it has these temporary hit points, the target's walking speed increases by 10 feet. So, extra health, extra speed, go! That's cool. Next one is the Fae. You recount the tale of a mischievous Fae. The target must succeed on a wisdom saving throw or become charmed by you until the end of its next turn. The charmed target must use its action to make a melee attack against a creature other than itself that you mentally choose. The target can act normally on its turn if you choose no other creature. So you target a creature, it has to make a save, and then it has to attack, to spend its action to attack a creature. Target must use its action to make a melee attack against a creature other than itself that you mentally choose. So it doesn't really say here if the creature can move before or not, because that would kind of make it if you metagame it, it can be kind of weird, because if I were to use this ability on a player character that doesn't want to hit their friends, they could just move before taking their action, and then I wouldn't be able to point them at an ally within 5 feet of them, so that would be kind of wasted there. Reading the comments, Avenger, yes, you'll know about the half-orc barbarian Chalk. Hero, Black Panther suit is fully charged. Heck yes. Do you know that the Fae one is, you need to roll a 7 on the die, so you don't get these right away? So you get this at level 5, I believe. Your die changes to a d8. I think it's level 5. 8 is the Dark Spirit. You speak a dreadful tale of a slayer in the dark. The target becomes invisible until the end of its next turn, or until it hits a creature with an attack. If it hits a creature with an attack during this invisibility, that creature takes necrotic damage equal to a roll of your bardic inspiration die and is frightened of the target until the end of its next turn. What? That's kinda cool. That's really strong. I really like that one. So extra damage as necrotic damage, and it doesn't make a save. If the attack hits, the creature is frightened of the target. This is strong. Seriously, this is a good one. And if you can throw it on your rogue and they go ham. Then they can just dive in to a dangerous foe, attack him with advantage, roll sneak, roll the extra necrotic damage, and then the creature is frightened of them, so they can't retaliate without having a disadvantage. Strong stuff. Giant. You speak of the deeds of a mighty giant. Each creature of the target's choice it can see within 30 feet of it must make a strength saving throw, taking force damage equal to 2 rolls of your bardic inspiration die on a failed save and is knocked prone. A creature that succeeds on its saving throw takes half as much damage and isn't knocked prone. So it's a shockwave. It deals level 9, that will be like a 2d10 to all creature that it chooses? Or all creatures? Each creature of the target's choice, so you can choose. So all enemies within 30 feet, 2d10, like strength save, 2d10, or they fall prone. Strength save, or they take 2d10 and fall prone, or otherwise half the damage. That's kind of strong. It's fun. Yeah. Dragon. You breathe a poem of a wrathful dragon. The target magically spews fire from their mouth in a 30-foot cone. Each creature in that area must make a dexterity saving throw, taking fire damage equal to 3 rolls of your bardic inspiration die on a failed save, or half as much on a successful one. That's decent, I think, because it's like Burning Hands is what, 3d8, I think, so that's 3d10 or 3d12. You need to roll a 10. I mean, it doesn't take a spell slot, but it's not really an effective turn, I think. Yeah, but it's a 30-foot cone though. That's a lot. It's not a 15 feet that the Burning Hands does. So it could be useful at some points. Yeah, it's not terrible. Let's see what we have in the comments. Well, it's Fae, not a devil. Yep. Yes, that's true. They pay less attention to these details. That's true as well. I'm not sure which details you mean by now, but sometimes they don't. Alright. Celestial. You speak of the exalted deeds of a Celestial. The target regains hit points equal to 2 rolls of your bardic inspiration die plus your bard level. And you end one disease or a condition from the following list affecting the target: blinded, deafened, paralyzed, petrified, or poisoned. That's a lesser restoration with some extra healing on top of that. That's like 2d12 at that point, plus your bard level, which is at least what, 15? No, where do you get d12s? I don't remember, but it's quite a lot of healing. And you end the condition. That's still powerful, even without ending the condition. It's 2d12 plus bard level healing. That's a lot of health. That's good. Unknown. You utter an incomprehensible fable from a being beyond the stars. Choose a creature you can see within 30 feet of you. The target must succeed on an intelligence saving throw or take psychic damage equal to 3 rolls of your bardic inspiration die, and the target is unable to speak any language for 1 minute. Yeah. You just throw them like Cthulhu Nightmare on them, and they're just, what the fuck? So yep. Alright, these tales are fun. That's for certain, they are. Useful overall, probably. I can imagine some situations where you get abilities that are useless, but not entirely useless, just not as effective as they could have been. I guess that's fine. Let's see, Spirit Session. You can channel spirits to gain insights into magic. You can conduct an hour-long ritual channeling spirits, which can be done during a short or long rest using your spiritual focus. So you do a ritual. You can conduct the ritual with a number of creatures equal to your proficiency bonus, including yourself. At the end of the ritual, you temporarily learn one spell of your choice from any class. The spell you choose must be of a level equal to the number of creatures that conducted the ritual or less. The spell must be of a level you can cast, and it must be in the school of divination or necromancy. The chosen spell counts as a bard spell for you, but doesn't count against the number of bard spells you know. Once you perform this ritual, you can do so again until you start a long rest, and you know the chosen spell until you start a long rest, so you can have one spell per day, generally speaking. So what this does, basically at level 6, your proficiency bonus is 3. You can cast a ritual with 3 people in total, you and 2 other people, and gain access to a 3rd level spell, which can be only of necromancy and divination. And that's kind of strong because the bards do get to choose spells from other classes, but they have to choose them permanently, while here you can choose a different spell every day. Now I went and made a small list of some of the spells that you might want to get with this. So detection spells like Detect Evil and Good, Ray of Sickness, Augury, Ray of Enfeeblement, Animate Dead, Revivify, Blight, strong choice, Shadow of Moil, which is also a strong choice that only Warlocks get otherwise, or Bards if you take that, but who does really? And Commune. There are plenty others, of course, and since your proficiency bonus won't be higher than 6, that means you won't be able to get 7th level spells from this ability, but otherwise it's good. Most divination spells are tools that you can use later on. Like, you know, you're going to face undead, you're going into some dangerous place, so you want a divination spell that might help you to detect undead. Bards don't have that spell, clerics do, but bards don't. Maybe you want to take it. Same is true for many other options, and necromancy spells usually deal a lot of damage. So Blight, for example, is probably stronger than most spells bards get. Let's see what happens in the comments. Details, movement before action. Right. Cult confirmed. Yes. Cult? Yes, Spirit Session. Cults. I get you. So overall, it's a fine ability. Yep. On 14th level, you get the mystical connection. Your connection to the spirits has become semi-permanent. Whenever you use your Tales from Beyond feature, you can roll a d6 and use it instead of expending Bardic Inspiration die. You still use your Bardic Inspiration die for the target's effect without expending it. So basically what this tells us is that even if you run out of your Bardic Inspiration, you can still roll and get one of these 6 abilities, which are still fairly useful. When you do activate them, though, you will use your, I guess, D10 or D12 by this point to activate them. So if our dice is D10, and we roll the 6, we'd still roll a D10 at our bard level and send a Hulk inside the battlefield. That was the bard. Overall, I think it's fair. The abilities themselves in the chart are fairly strong, but since you can't really control what you're going to get, I think it makes it a bit more lenient like it's not as powerful because you can't control it that well. It can, like, if you're rolling really well, you can do something amazing in the situation, but if you don't, then you just wasted the bonus action, or could have done something better. You could have used the bardic inspiration to actually inspire someone else and giving them that die to use for an attack or ability check. That's useful, and that, I believe, makes the balance work here. I like that one. Next up we have the Warlock, and the Warlock is strong. The Undead is an entity that resides in the dark corners of the multiverse. Your patron could be a Serarak, Azalin, Lord Soth, Strahd, or some other ancient undead being. You may seek to gain knowledge from your patron's countless lifetime of experience, while it may see you as a piece of a centuries-long plan. So, at first level, you gain an expanded spell list for the Warlock. These spells, Bane is a good choice that Warlocks don't usually have. False Life is Blindness, Deafness, definitely a good choice. Phantasmal Force, Speak with Dead, Phantom Steed, cool. Death Ward, always fun to have. Greater Invisibility, why not? Anti-Life Shell, meh. And Cloud Kill. Nothing here is really stands out as, oh no, Warlocks shouldn't have that. So overall, these are good picks. These are spells that are added to the spell list for you, so you don't automatically gain them. You still have to pick them from your known spell. So it basically expands it. It's nice. Adds flavor, On first level, you get the Form of Dread. You manifest an aspect of your patron's dreadful power. As a bonus action, you transform for 1 minute. You gain the following benefits while transformed. You gain temporary hit points equal to 1d10 plus your Warlock level. Once during each of your turns, when you hit a creature with an attack, you can force it to make a Wisdom saving throw. And if the saving throw fails, the target is frightened of you until the end of your next turn. Every turn. And you are immune to the frightened condition. That's strong. That's very strong. You can transform a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus, and you regain all expended uses when you finish a long rest. The appearance of your Form of Dread reflects some aspect of your patron. For example, your form could be a shroud of shadows forming the crowns and robes of your Lich patron. Or your face might transform into bat-like features due to your vampiric patron. It would be cool if I had like an effect that now I get Dracula face. I'm a LARPer, I can probably pull it off. Question, is Orcus considered a devil or an undead? Orcus is considered a demon, as far as if I remember correctly, a demon prince of the undead. But why not have, I mean, it could be fiend, but for Orcus maybe you can flavor it. You can give them the Undead Patron, because why not? He's the Prince of Undeath. Might as well. Alright, the 6th level ability. We already started fairly strong here. Your patron's power have a profound effect on your body and magic. You don't need to eat, drink, or breathe. Cool. Neat. In addition, when you hit a creature with an attack and roll damage against the creature, you can replace the damage type with Necrotic Damage. While you're using your Form of Dread, you can roll 1 additional damage die when determining the necrotic damage the target takes. So this ability, I remember I wrote it down here, is insanely strong. And the reason I say it is 2 words. Eldritch Blast. So yeah, at level 5, or at level 6 here, you have 2 raids. These are 2 attacks. You roll for each of them 2d10 necrotic damage, and if you took the invocation that adds your charisma on top of that, 2d10 plus your charisma modifier sums up to quite a lot. And as Eldritch Blast progresses, this becomes even more ridiculous. Because level 11, you deal 6d10 plus, potentially deal 6d10 plus 3 times your charisma, which is a lot. And more than most other cantrips and some spells. So, I don't like it. I don't like just adding dice. I don't know, not my thing. I think it's too strong. And this also, like, if you take this cleric, warlock, you cast Eldritch Blast, the target is frightened of you, takes tons of damage, they can't retaliate, you keep doing that. It's a mess. It's a mess. But it's very strong. On level 10, you get the Mortal Husk. Your connection to undeath and necrotic energy now saturates your body. You have resistance to necrotic damage, and if you are transformed using your form of dread, you instead become immune to necrotic damage. That's very rare. We don't see a lot of immunities in 5e at all, and for player characters even less. In addition, when you are reduced to 0 hit points, you can cause your body to explode. Each creature within 30 feet of you takes necrotic damage equal to 2d10 plus your warlock level. You then revive with 1 hit point in your previous space along with your gear, and you gain 1 level of exhaustion. Once you revive this way, you can't do so again until you finish 1d4 long rests. It doesn't require a reaction, so that's stronger than some other Unearthed Arcana things we've seen before, like the Phoenix Sorcerer. It can only happen so often, you gain a level of exhaustion. This is overall a very powerful ability. Because 2d10 plus your warlock level at that point is at least 2d10 plus 10. And 30 feet radius, and you just respawn. It's okay for warlocks to have powerful class abilities, class features, because they're dependent on that. But I feel like overall, with everything we've seen so far, it's a bit over the top. The 14th level, this one is even where things get really weird. So your body is now simply a vessel for your spirit. As an action, you can project your spirit from your body. The body you leave behind is unconscious and in a state of suspended animation. Your spirit can remain outside your body for up to 1 hour or until your concentration is broken, as if concentrating on a spell. When your projection ends, your spirit returns to your body, or your body magically teleports to your spirit space. That's kind of cool. Like, end it, your body just returns to where you are. Sure. While projecting your spirit, you gain the following benefits. Your spirit and body gains resistant to bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage. When you cast a spell of the Conjuration or Necromancy school, the spell doesn't require verbal, somatic, or material components that lack a gold cost. So you don't... Okay, that's cute. That's cute. You have a flying speed equal to your walking speed and can hover. You can move through creatures and objects as if they were difficult terrain, but you take 1d10 force damage if you end your turn inside a creature or an object, like we've seen in many other abilities of similar nature. While you are using your form of dread, once during each of your turns, when you deal necrotic damage to a creature, you regain hit points equal to half the amount of necrotic damage dealt. We'll get back to why this is broken in a minute. Once you use this feature, you can't do so again until you finish a long rest. Well, broken is maybe not broken, but very powerful. Once you use this feature, you can't do so again until you finish a long rest. Okay, so you can use it once per day. So while you use this thing, you are immune to necrotic damage. You have resistance to bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing. You deal extra necrotic damage whenever you hit someone with an attack. And whenever you deal necrotic damage, you can heal. Now, this the specific wording of this, once during each of your turns when you deal necrotic damage to a creature. So it can be other spells, non-damaging spells. You wouldn't get the benefit from earlier. You won't get the benefit of adding a die, but you can, for example, use a spell like Innovation. It already heals you when you deal necrotic damage, and just gain the full amount of hit points, because Innovation already heals you for half the amount, and this adds another half, and you deal 4d8 damage and regain 4d8 back, which is quite a lot, actually. Might be too much. There are other spells as well that I haven't considered for the moment, but if you're a Warlock of Death, you probably have spells like Circle of Death or Finger of Death or something of Death that deals tons of necrotic damage, and you get what I'm saying here. It's a bit too strong in my honest opinion. The fact that it's concentration makes it a bit better, because your concentration can be broken, which is actually something I haven't considered until now. Does it make it fair? I'm not sure. Not entirely sold on this. Maybe. I feel like this Warlock is slightly stronger than the average Warlock, and other than that, it's very cool. It's very cool to be able to just project your spirit and become a ghost and deal extra necrotic damage and really dive into that theme. Yeah, I think it's nice. So I would like to hear your thoughts on these subclasses. You can share them with me in the comments below. I wrote some things for you to remember. I have a new video. You need to remember how to tell your audience that you have more videos. So I have a video on Thursday, which is in a week from now. The subject for this video is story hubs or starting location. I'm still figuring out the name, but it's the place where things happen, where the adventurers go back to like after they complete a quest or a storyline, they go back to the same place. So if we consider Lost Mines of Phandelver, that would be Phandalin. How to create that one, how to make it interesting, I'm thinking about all of that. I'm currently, this video is in the making and it will be out on Thursday. And that's it. So friends, thank you for joining me in this one. Stay safe, and I'll see you beyond the screen.